Hi. So this video I'm going to be talking about like meltdowns and self-harm and my experience of that. So totally understand if that's not an easy topic for everyone. Don't feel obliged to watch. Especially like family, mum. You don't have to watch me talk about this if you don't want. I do understand. I'm doing a lot better today. I've been able to eat over the weekend and stuff. That's been really good. But Thursday was really, really hard at college. I was very frazzled by noise all day. There's twice as many people in my class this year, and just like every time the teacher stops talking, and a kind of murmur starts and builds, and it's just getting so agitated, and I kept having to run to the toilet to cry, and at one point I was just so overwhelmed and so stressed out, and I was like bumping my head off the wall and scratched myself up really badly on my arm. And it kind of made me muse. Once I'd kind of recovered a bit, I started kind of thinking about all the other times I'd self-harmed, and I've been kind of realising over the years since I got my diagnosis that most of the time when I was self-harming, it was what I now know was a meltdown. I would cut myself in such anger, or thought it was anger, and it was to some extent anger and frustration at not knowing what was wrong with me, not knowing what was causing these feelings, being on the highest possible dose I could be of an antidepressant and still having these mental health crises, or what I thought were mental health crises. And sometimes like some of my scars are they're pretty bad, and now that meltdowns are less, or meltdowns like that are less frequent or less intense, less big, I suppose, now that I kind of know what the problem is, and I'm better at managing my needs day to day, so meltdowns like that just don't happen in quite the same way. But Thursday was pretty close. If I'd had a knife, I probably would have cut myself to release the tension, to let it out, to have something else to focus on. Maybe I think sometimes is a part of it. Like if I could focus on the pain in my leg, then I'd be distracted from, in the past it would have been often at work, working in cafes and bars and kitchens and things, places where I was good at being organised and good at doing the job, but was just completely overwhelmed all the time. I have not had a single full-time job where I didn't self-harm at some point. And yeah, like I say, often having the pain to focus on helped distract me from the noise and the chaos and the stress and the movement and the sensory hell of working in those environments. And that's kind of what it was like on Thursday. But it wasn't, as bad as it has been in the past. Like I say, I'm better at heading these things off a bit now, and at least, I understand what the problem is, By the end of the day on Thursday, I'd been told last year I probably couldn't wear my noise-reducing headphones because, I need to hear what's going on in the class, but I can hear. They don't actually completely cancel noise altogether. They just kind of, muffle it and baffle it up. So by the end of the class, I just sat there wearing them, and it was, felt really good to just make a decision for my well-being and decide I don't care, sod the consequences. If I get pulled up on this, what else can I say? It's either this or I go home crying, I want to be here, I want to be learning this stuff, I want to be doing this course, but not at that cost, not if that's the price. So yeah, hopefully when my bursary comes in, I can afford to get like some slightly more discreet, look, kind of earbuddy ones, rather than the big clunky overhead ones, which are brilliant for avoiding conversations when you're out and about in public, but they're a bit much for sitting in a class, perhaps. But yeah, the urge to self-harm when I'm feeling like that is possibly something that may always be there. Maybe not, hopefully not. Hopefully as I become better at dealing with these things, maybe I won't get to that stage in the future. But yeah, it's there in the back of my mind as an option when I feel like that. And I wish it wasn't, because there's a lot of shame and embarrassment and, self-disgust that comes along with the self-harming. Feeling like, Christ, I'm an adult, I should be able to just deal with things, which shows, I still have a fair way to go in my wee autistic self-acceptance journey. Which obviously makes sense. I only got a diagnosis a few years ago, undoing 3 decades of learning and ways of being. It's not going to be, so just got to keep on keeping on. And like I say, I've been able to eat over the weekend, which has been great. Haven't been sleeping brilliantly, but I've been eating more, so I don't feel quite as weak and shaky and liable to burst into tears because of an advert, which is what happened on Friday. So, hoping today I can get on with a bit of studying and eat some more, keep recovering, and just see how I go tomorrow going into college. Fingers crossed it won't be as intense as it was on Thursday, but if it is, at least I know I can put my headphones on, and if I need to leave, I can just leave, and hopefully I can let myself stim when I need to, although that's definitely, it is challenging letting that happen. But yeah, maybe that's a video for another time. Anyway, I hope you're all doing okay. I hope nobody's struggling with meltdowns or the urge to hurt themselves, and if you are, please try to be kind and compassionate to yourselves. Please try and be kind and compassionate to yourselves anyway. That would be awesome. Anyway, live long and prosper. Ta-ta for now.